Yeah. Right.
Alright, we've got to stop it every 10 minutes, but I can.
Right.
Is it on?
Set a timer for 10 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes now.
Okay, 10 minutes of counting.
Yes, boy.
Technology.
So it's on?
Yeah, it's on.
Alright, so what did Mum and Craddock...
Technology is so awful.
I know! So my mate's got one of them, oh fuck it, was about it. Alexa thing.
Oh, Alexa. I've never
No.
don't know what that is.
So what did Mum and Craddock put in your cereal as a kid to make you so fucking fabulous?
I don't know. It was probably also my my queer brother as well, who like, you know, set the wheels in motion and everything like this. Because he's 10 years older than me, so when I was in like the formative years and everything, then he was like already in his like teenage, like also like homosexual rebellion phase as well. So he would like go out on a Saturday night, like round Birmingham, like face covered in glitter and stuff like this, and would come home and my dad would be like, "Why have you got your face covered in glitter?" and stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh man, it's so cool and there's glitter and everything," and I'm like this like 5-year-old being like, "Wow, my brother's like really cool actually." So, and also like he used to have CDs of The Prodigy, and I would like nick his CDs and listen to them, and then I would like go around the schoolyard like quoting The Prodigy at people, being like, "Yeah, smack my bitch up," when I'm like 7 years old or something. It was like, so it's probably down a lot to my queer brother.
What's his name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, to Charlie.
Set the wheels in motion.
Yes, Charlie. Do you now believe that meetings can change the world?
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, meetings is all the boring part that you have to go through to actually get the final product. Because the final products will never happen without the meetings.
Yeah.
Because the meetings is actually where people can like be like, right, I've got this mental idea for this protest, like let's like fucking do it, and everyone will be like, that is mental, we should do that, but maybe a bit like this or something as well.
Yeah.
And it's also, meetings is where you meet the most, like you make the best connections in meetings as well. It's all very well as like going to the protest and doing all of the glamorous part. That is very important. And I always say to people, you can always just turn up for the glamorous part as well. But meetings is when, like, you know, I've met everyone at meetings actually. Meetings is actually when you actually connect and bounce ideas off each other, and it's actually the most inspiring part. The action is just the finished product, and it's actually. It's the climax, but it's not. It's the process of getting there that is the most productive and the most inspiring, in my opinion.
Tell us a bit about the I guess the journey through the eyes of meetings, or just the initial journey of how I Want Prep Now formed.
Well, I met Greg at an ACT UP meeting, in my first ACT UP meeting, when I walked in and I didn't know anything about AIDS.
Was that in Positively UK?
It was in the downstairs of Positively UK.
Okay, right. Oh, in the back room. Oh, also, if there's any, like, basically I'm trying to situate things geographically, so anytime there's like a place, say it.
Okay, yeah.
So it was the back room.
So it was in the back room of Positively UK.
Yeah.
And I walked in, it was my first meeting of pretty much anything ever.
Was it winter or summer, do you remember?
It was summer 2015. It was July 2015.
Yeah.
Basically, I got back from New York and had been given prep in New York. Then I came back to they gave me prep for free, even though I didn't have a visa, I didn't have any health insurance, I didn't have anything. Then I didn't have any money either. They just gave me prep for free. Then, and they even like said like, take a bit with you to like, if you're going away, here's 3 months to take away with you.
Yeah.
So then I got back to the UK and then was like, shit, I haven't got prep anymore, like I can't get it anymore. And I had this time limit of this supply running down that they'd given me. So then I was looking up like okay, who is fighting for PrEP right now? Because I can see all of these HIV charities.
And it was quite easy to get in America.
It was super easy to get in America.
Yeah.
I basically went to, all of the guys that I was sleeping with in the US, they were all on PrEP.
Yeah.
So, and they would like say to me like, oh, you're not on PrEP? Why aren't you on PrEP? Like, everyone's on PrEP, come on. Everything, like, get on it, and everything. So I was like, oh shit, and they were like, yeah, just go with this doctor, turn up, and they'll give it you for free. And I'm like, wow, sounds amazing. So I did that, and then came back, and I had this time limit of like this. Probably had about 2 months worth with me, and I was like, right, I need to find a way to get this within 2 months. And I was looking online and reading, and trying to read up on my AIDS history and everything like this, because I still didn't know anything about AIDS at this point. And I was looking up and trying to find, and I was looking at all of these HIV charities, like THT and stuff like this. No one was talking about PrEP that I could see at all. So, and I was like looking online and everything like this, and I'm like, that's great that you're fighting for people who have late stage AIDS, or you're fighting for AIDS in Africa and stuff like this. That's great, but I need PrEP now. You know? Yeah. So then, the only people who I found who had actually mentioned it publicly that I could see was ACT UP, actually.
Because of the demos.
Because there was the PrEP demo outside 5016 Street, the queue to nowhere.
Yeah, and there was the one in NHS as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, right, go to an ACT UP meeting then.
Sweet.
So walked into my first meeting. I was late, I'm always late. And
did we meet before that or after that? We
met because the reason why I found out that this meeting was happening was because I was like Googling ACT UP, and then it was like, oh, Dan Glass and everything. And then you were doing a talk at a play called As Is at Trafalgar Studios.
With Sylvia.
With Sylvia. Who was the guy that was doing the play with you?
His name is Andrew. He was the director.
Yeah, he was the director.
I was just speaking.
They did the play, and then you did the post-show.
Yeah. And Sylvia did it another night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I went and stalked you at this show.
Yeah.
And then we had a chat. We had a fag outside.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we was talking about AIDS, and you were talking a lot, and I didn't know anything about AIDS, so I wasn't really talking.
Yeah.
And then you were like, and then I was like, all right, then like I'm going now. Like, see you later. And I was like, nice to meet you and stuff. And then you were like, oh shit, I forgot to tell everyone that there's a meeting tomorrow.
I'll find it. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'll come to the meeting. And you're like, okay, great, yeah, all right. Be Positively UK at Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. And I was like, all right then, yeah, I'll go.
Sweet.
So I walk in there, and then there's like, obviously like, there's like 15 people in there, or they all like turn to look and be like, oh, like new guy just walked in, and I was like, oh, hi everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, my name's Alex. And then walked in, and then you're like, do you want to write on the board? Like, trying to get me involved, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll write on the board. And then I was like, didn't understand anything that anyone was saying. Didn't understand words like seroconversion. Didn't understand all of this, like all of the jargon that people were coming out with in the meetings. Because everyone's clued up in meetings, so you can say jargon.
And you must have been 23 at the time.
I was 23, 24, 23 probably. And I didn't understand what anyone was talking about. And then Greg was being really loud in this meeting.
That's it.
And then afterwards, we all went to Wetherspoons up the road in Angel afterwards for the traditional post-meeting pint.
Yeah.
And then was walking up the road, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm just here for PrEP and everything. And then Greg was like, oh yeah, I really want to get PrEP as well, because Greg hadn't been diagnosed as positive by this point. And so me and Greg were like, all about PrEP and everything like this. And then and then we were like, right, let's go. And he was trying to organise like some online campaigns about PrEP and stuff like this. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll jump in with this. So then, me and Greg started bouncing off each other about PrEP, because we were the two that were most desperately needed PrEP at the time. There were a lot of other people in ACT UP, but they were either positive, or they were women, so they were at lower risk maybe, and they didn't have this desperation for prep that me and Greg both had. So then, I'm talking way too much right now, but
no, good.
So we all met him. All of this chat is coming from meetings as well. And so we keep going to. I start going to ACT UP meetings regularly. It's been 10 minutes.
I'll follow. I have to stop and start it.